Well, let's get into Cody's film of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. So we all
I'm excited for this one.
went to the early show of Don't Worry, Darling.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get to go see that. And
Before you get into it,
yeah.
What do you think the Friday night number or Thursday night number was?
I'm gonna say it's kind of big. 4 million?
$3 million.
$3 million.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
For rated R.
Yeah.
With all the drama around it.
It's an exceptional number.
Yeah. So what is the critic score and what's the audience score? We should put into that right now.
I can look it up, Ken.
I've got it right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rotten
Perfect.
Tomatoes.
The critic score was 38 and the audience score is 85.
Okay, so there's a big discrepancy between critics and audiences.
Which isn't surprising, but
It's
as someone who's in the minority of liking the movie, I thought for sure more
In the
audiences
room.
would be
not in general with audiences.
sure, but I thought I would be in the minority with the audiences as well. I thought
Yeah.
audiences would also not really like it. I mean, it's only been a day, but
Yeah.
it's good so far.
So, I don't like it, and I rarely ever like go with critics. Like I don't care what they have to say, and my
Cody wants to be entertained and she wants happy things to happen.
Yeah, so me and critics never match up, but on this movie, it was so awful. Like, I was so mad at the movie, the editing, the characters. To me, it was a dumpster fire of a film. And not even Florence Pugh. Like, everybody's praising Florence Pugh, but I felt that her character was horrible. Like, she played her character well, but that doesn't deserve praise. The whole character package was terrible.
I think if she can make a dumpster fire character actually interesting, the way
She
you're describing
wasn't interesting, though.
Well,
She
I'm sorry,
was
not
infuriating.
Not interesting, but it's able to have you
Yeah.
enjoy the movie enough.
So I didn't like her character. There were so many plot leaks in this, plot holes. It
Kyle,
was just
stand out of the way of
a
the train
sinking
and
ship.
just let it.
Yeah, just let me get
go
it
ahead.
out.
Go ahead.
I had to go home and watch 2 movies to get it out of my system because
to purge it.
Kyle, I told Ken, this is the first film that I can ever remember that I wanted to walk out of. That I was so frustrated with, not because there was a scene that disturbed me, or I was just so frustrated by how bad it was, and that I was like, no, I want to leave. I don't walk out of movies. I gave it to the end, and I still wasn't. The ending didn't help save that movie at all. It just, again, was frustrating. It just ends and you hear a noise, like it just goes to the title screen. There's no real ending to it. I hate when directors do that. Yeah, I hate when directors do that to be like, I'm artsy. Like, no, have a fucking conclusion, okay? Like, bring your stupid story that didn't make any sense to a real conclusion so we can all move on with our lives. Like, you're not artistic here. You're just pathetic. And
the dinosaurs ate the bad guy. That's the end.
Okay. Where's that ending?
Is that it? Can you finally breathe it out?
No,
but you get into it. There were things I liked about it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like totally crap on this film. There
even
were
though you just did.
Yeah, even though I just did. It is awful, but I think there were some good pieces about it.
Yeah.
It is definitely a Stepford Wives remake. This is brainwashed women in an ideal world, in an ideal subservient role. Like this, just don't question me, be graceful, be demure, tend to my every needs, cook clean, and be beautiful and happy for me. So it is Stepford Wives all the way. And I'm fine. I was on board with that idea. I liked how in a plot twist, it was more of an incel like husband situation where he finds like online on the internet some like blog radio post thing that gets him into this world, and he does it to her. Like, that part was kind of interesting. Trying to bring Stepford Wives into like a more modern technology, kind of meeting Matrix and Stepford Wives together. So I thought part of that was there was some interesting things there. And I liked the bunny character played by Olivia Wilde because in the end you find out she chose it. She chose it because her kids, even though they're not real in this because it is like a simulation, they feel real and are still alive to her, because in the real world they are deceased, so something terrible has happened, but you don't know because this stupid story doesn't elaborate on any of the other characters. It spends the whole
it's
time
a little nugget, right?
trying to be like harping on the fact that she notices something and that everybody's treating her like crazy. Well, that's great, but I need more. There was more story and there's more interesting characters there to really flesh out that you could have spent time on. And for me, the biggest problem is that the editing was so terrible that you just go right into the world, and then she, next scene, she's like, oh, something's weird with these eggs because I'm cracking them and there's nothing out of them. And then I just go right back into my Stepford Wives in the next scene, like pleasuring my husband. And then I go into a scene where I'm being watched in a sexual position. And then I go right back to it, like being happy. It just jumps too back and forth, and it doesn't build up like, oh, there's
no builds up to the highs. There's no deflating from the
there's
lows.
no something happened with my neighbor, and then I think I'm kind of thinking about that, and it seems kind of weird, and I'm noticing people are acting weird, and then I notice the eggs, and then I go out to the desert, and then there's a build up where a natural character would keep all those things, would figure it out over time. Okay,
You said you were going to say a
last
good thing.
I did.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I did. Early, I said that there was some interesting things with the technology and stuff. Then so something's happening. She figures it out. The bad guy, Chris Pine, admits to her. So now it's a battle of wills, right? A secret battle of wills.
Mind games.
In a mind game. And he's basically throwing down the gauntlet saying, let's play this out. I expect a lot out of you. I'm finally challenged. And she just goes sits down at the table amongst everybody who's still brainwashed and has a meltdown, just calls him out and has a meltdown. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. You keep it to yourself and you figure out how to do this, because obviously you just look psycho at that and nobody's going to believe you in this situation. You're yelling at people, telling them the chicken is poisoned. They're all brainwashed right now. They don't know what's happening. And you're like, it's poisoned. This is where I hated her character. Like, she just went full-blown crazy stupid in the situation.
Right.
And then you come to find out she's a surgeon.
No, that was the pause.
Okay, go ahead, guys.
No, is it Rusa?
No, you come to find out she's having been thrust into this by her horrible, like, pathetic husband, who is emasculated by her and her success. You find out she is this, like, amazing surgeon, and she's just struggling. She's struggling to, like, provide for her family, and she's just tired. But she, as a surgeon, would be very intelligent, have, like, so much knowledge of medicine and things but in this world, she's just a vapid, stupid Stepford wife. Like, they somehow erased all of the knowledge outside of her personality. Like, it just
technology is amazing.
Would not happen. Like, there's too many things that create a person and personality to erase it all.
And on that note, I'll go over to Ken, see if he has anything to add on.
I'm sorry, poor Ken had to listen to me rant and rant and rant.
This is the third time I've heard this.
Yeah.
The aesthetic was amazing. All the mid-century stuff and the 50s stuff, the cars,
that
the
was
costumes
good.
That production design.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I kept telling Ken I want that house. I wanted their house so bad.
The cars, the
costumes.
Palm Springs aesthetic was awesome.
Yeah.
Was very good. Chris Pine really pulled it off. They really screwed up by not getting Shia LaBeouf in that role.
I mean, Shia LaBeouf would have been way more unhinged than Harry Styles. And that's probably why he wasn't on this project anymore, because they were like, dude, you're scaring everyone.
But he needed that.
I mean, Harry Styles is not a good actor. I was just not impressed.
He's not leading man caliber. Maybe small supporting role.
He's not there to act. He's there to look pretty so people can act around him.
He danced.
Oh.
In the movie. I mean, he had this whole dancing thing. He didn't sing. He's famous for singing.
Yeah. And it was a toe tapping thing. At first it was fine. I was like, okay, a few seconds of this. And it did keep going. And I was like, I know they're jumping back and forth between one scene and the other, but you don't need all those scenes of him tap dancing. After a while, it doesn't look that good anymore. Not blaming the guy, but
okay. Well, after Cody's mega super long rant, can you finally
No, it just made me mad all over again.
No, because it's been a reminder that I actually liked the movie.
I don't know what you liked about it. I'm still trying to figure it out.
It was kind of the same with Ken. I really was appreciative of the production design elements of it. I did like the ideas with what they're going through, although I do agree with you to extent. Like, there is a lot of stuff that doesn't feel explained like it should, or at the very least doesn't feel thought out. I imagine that this movie is supposed to be longer, but it already had to be chopped down to like 2 hours, over 2 hours. So
Cody wants like the Russo brothers to make this so they explain everything.
I would enjoy that more. I would have liked
as I think other audiences probably are going to.
I like less of her being like psycho and going like there were so many sequences that were supposed to be like of the stupid dancing girls. There was that whole thing could have been cut out. The whole like white red drop of what like coming in and out of the simulation. Cool. Yeah, for like 2 seconds, but then it kept going back and forth and the eyeball and him narrating, and there was like 20 minutes in there I feel like we could have cut out, and Bunny could have explained what happened to her kids in real life, and I would have probably enjoyed that so much more.
Yeah, I think it also this is also probably how much I love Florence Pugh, but she did carry the movie. Like everyone else around her, like Chris Pine, Gemma Chan, they were very good in the movie as well, but it was clearly like Florence in the role, and she had to do a lot in order to, you know, be able to have me enjoy the movie as much as I did. So I it has its problems, but for whatever reason, just like the concept I was enjoying, it didn't explain itself as well as I wish it would have. But just the idea of the concept of it I thought was interesting, and all of the production and technical aspects of it were just very impressive to me. So I don't know, that it just was able to carry me through more than you clearly.
Cody was out.
I was out so early in the movie. As soon as they jumped to the scene where she's cracking eggs, and then it was like, this is so freaky, and then nothing happened. I was like, this is
she looks at
misedited
me and starts wanting to make comments about the movie.
I couldn't help
when
myself.
I was in The Batman with Cody, and I wanted to make comments. She's like, shut up.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like a movie, and she gets to talk all she wants.
That's how it works.
It was keeping me from walking out, Ken. It kept me there in the seat, being able to like vent this frustration.
I hated that I was doing this in the movie, but with all the drama that I kept hearing about like the behind the scenes stuff, I was kind of waiting in the back of my mind of like, okay, when does the shoe drop? Like when does the bad stuff like really show through? But just I'm watching the whole way through, and I'm like, it's good. Like, it's, you know, nothing bad is happening here. Like, I still agree with you about the story aspects, but for entertainment in the 2 hours, and I was just seeing more positives like on a technical aspect of it than I was more so than I guess with the story for some reason.